Welcome to the Show Me Your News. That's what SMYN stands for. Show Me Your News, the year in video games.
I like this guy over here.
Is that nice? This is our third panel at Youmacon. Bigger and better each and every year. Show Me Your News started as a podcast about Super Smash Bros. Brawl. We're covering all the news about that. Some of you may know there's a new Smash Brothers game out, except they decided to. No, it's not out yet, but it hasn't been delayed, so that's a plus.
Yes. Mega Man's in it, so it's going to be canceled.
It's going to be canceled because Mega Man's in it. Oh dear. But no, they're doing screenshots of the day, and so we can't really talk about that. Since Brawl came out, we touched on Brawl here and there, but we become a video game news podcast, just industry news and all sorts of things. So here's kind of our outline of how things are going to go today. We're going to start, really quick review. I know you all hate PowerPoints and it's really boring. It's a cheap way of doing things, but we're going to talk about notable gaming stories of the year. Then we go to a video of montage of games from the year. And so we get to kind of interact with the crowd here. You get to cheer at games you like, boo games you don't like. It's all a lot of fun. We try to involve you guys here. We have a discussion of game of the year so far. There are a lot of possible candidates. Then we have a video, we have a top 10 that we are part of our Show Me Your News network at showmeyournews.com. We have, anyone can make a top 10 video, and so we've done one for this year. And then we do Q&A, and then there was going to be a video, but I'm going to sing for you, and that's going to be interesting. So, my name is Peter Spasia. I go by Youko on the show. I might as well pass it down to my panelists here.
Getting lost in the shuffle over here, man.
Sorry, I
went on a run there.
When you broadcast for 5 to 6 years, you tend to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
I'm Tony Manningly. I go by Tony.
Yeah.
I'm Miles Allen. I go by Super, and I usually go second.
Someone decided to mix up with the order here.
Well, going down the line.
Going down the line. It makes sense. So we're going to start off with stories that happened during this year. February, we got to meet the next generation console for Sony, the PlayStation 4. Yeah. Met with a lot of praise.
I like how it's italics.
It's italics.
It is.
The camera looks like those segmented Tootsie Roll sticks.
It's also interesting that they note the camera in here that they later decide to cut from the retail release in order to get the price under the Xbox One, that little shrewd move at E3. No, honestly, it was, people were I kind of met with lukewarm, reception at the beginning. Like, let's say it's next generation, we have these new games, we're not sure what to think, but we're cautiously optimistic, because little did they know of what was yet to come.
Oh my. I always really liked the PlayStation controller, even though it never really fit in my hand.
You gotta get closer to the microphone, build up slow, low.
A little closer, not
yes.
Closer.
Closer?
Closer. Is this close enough
like
for you?
this. Closer.
Get closer.
Anyway.
Sorry, as you were saying.
But the introduction to the pseudo touchscreen there, what did you guys think about that thing?
Hey, we're gonna do what Nintendo's doing, which isn't necessarily a bad thing at all.
They don't have the display on there. It saves the cost. Developers are gonna have to determine how to use that control scheme. It's really gonna be up to how you control it.
It kind of reminded me of the Dreamcast, VMU2, which is totally fine too. I wish it did little pictures.
But again, that too, that was, things displaying on it. So it was pretty different. In March, we had Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain become official. Some may remember this as it was just The Phantom Pain revealed at the Spike Video Game Awards at the end of the year. People were speculating, is it Metal Gear Solid 5? There's Volgin that looks kind of nightmarish, that might be Snake.
There's so much hidden subtext and imagery that Kojima threw in here, and the internet went to work and figured everything out. Most noticeably the Metal Gear Solid V logo fitting on top of the Phantom Pain logo perfectly.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna go ahead and say I've not really played any Metal Gear Solid game. I'm going to get this one.
You're gonna get this one.
I saw that. I'm getting this game.
Oh yeah, that screenshot is from E3, but gosh, it does look gorgeous. That's the new Fox engine that Kojima's been working on. It just the photo reels, and he's trying to go for.
By the way, I want to throw this in for just as a time capsule thing, I think the Kiefer Sutherland thing's a hoax, and David Hayter's gonna. Kiefer. This guy did write into us. Like write-in was just a thing when we bought MGS2 and nobody knew about it. I think he's gonna jump in and it's gonna be David Hayter at the end.
We'll see.
But I'm paranoid.
I think you're wrong.
I'm probably
you hold on
What
to
about
that,
the Xbox
man.
One? Super.
What a system, right, guys? Everybody, let's give a hand for Xbox One. Right.
just.
How about releasing a system, saying, hey, or not releasing, but like showing off your system, and then it's a game console, right? Games?
Yeah, those things.
Did you say TV?
Sports.
Sports TV, sports.
Sports and TV.
Sorry, TV. No, just TV. Football! Fantasy football scores in real time.
Skype.
Yo, I'm kind of legit.
It's funny because
myself, but I'm not getting the system for a while.
Water cooler.
it's funny because they're trying to get away from these stereotypes and win the audience back by getting rid of the internet and whatnot. But their first commercial was like during a football game. It's like, I can watch football game on my Xbox One, and it's like, yeah, that's great.
You can do that regularly.
E3 was pretty great though. I mean, compared to, the stinker that was last year.
Last year was
all things considered, we did get that new Smash game. Did get Mega Man confirmed. We got the Mario, Sonic, and eventually ended up being Sonic, but Mega Man as well. Kingdom Hearts 3. Yeah.
5 years.
Hearts, yeah.
It's been longer than 5 years. It's
gonna
the
take
whole
5 more.
console generation.
But then everyone
5
loved
more years.
Titanfall. And am I just the only one who's not completely sold on Titanfall? I get,
Yes.
I'm bored this year.
hardcore and Call of Duty because it's made
Hardcore giant mechs. All you need now is the giant mechs to do parkour.
Nice.
Once they kick off of buildings, they'll topple them over. So,
There's something wrong with that.
It's a good E3.
except, all things considered, except for a couple weeks later when the biggest gaming news story of the year was the Xbox 180, where they present all these things at their E3 press conference. They have mixed messaging. And then they go and backfire and say, all those things you guys don't like, we're going to lose sales over, we're going to take them out.
Turns out people didn't like it very much.
Turns out, not letting your friend borrow your game, kind of a big deal.
Yeah, or always being online and then you're stopping the troops from playing your system. We'll have more to talk about that later. America. So, EVO is the biggest fighting game tournament
I like that guy too.
in the world. And this is actually prefaced with an earlier story in the year, in January, where gamers raised money for breast cancer and to see which game they wanted to be included in this big fighting game tournament. Turns out Super Smash Bros. Melee ended up being voted with more than $95,000, I believe.
Yeah.
96,000. It was a very impressive feat. Skullgirls came in second. They raised a lot of money as well. But then we ended up seeing Super Smash Bros. Melee on the world stage, and it drew record crowd numbers on live stream at the time. That was impressive.
After Nintendo tried to shut it down, actually, at the last minute. Yeah. And then they're like, we raised money for charity for this to happen, and then Nintendo was like,
And then Nintendo did the 180.
that makes us look stupid.
But Super, you play Super Smash Bros. Competitively.
Dude, I was very much pumped, and I watched this and I watched doubles as well, even when Tony went to sleep. But I watched this.
Bus on a panel?
I prompted him to get booed, it's okay.
No, I was really happy with this, and I might not be the biggest fan of Mango who won, but I was very happy that he kind of beat Wobbles, though, the Ice Climbers with his infinites.
Yeah, it could have made for a better display of what Smash Brothers really is.
If you don't know, the Ice Climbers just continuously grab the opponent and damage them and then just hit them.
And then
They're dead.
Which is skillful, but not as fun to watch.
no. But props for Mango for really going hard.
Nintendo made some big news in August where they released that strange looking thing called the Nintendo 2DS because that won't confuse parents when they're buying. Well, there's the 3DS and there's the 2DS, and the 3DS does the 3D, but the 2DS only does the 2D. They play the same games. They also play DS games. There's the DS, the 2DS, and the 3DS. Which one are you going to get? I think That's a
believe,
nightmare for parents.
And then a
I'm
regular
sorry.
DS.
I believe the DS this time means doorstop.
That's the DS Fats.
It's a wedge shape.
It's a wedge shape, yes.
Well, yes, it is meant for a younger demographic. And some people may like that, some people may not like the 3D, even though you have the adjustable depth slider. But that's the thing that happened. And also the Wii U sales have been rather awful.
Not good.
So they decided to drop the price from $350 to $300. And you know, now that you're starting to get some games, they're better. They're still not great, especially when you have two competitors.
Wind Waker.
Yeah.
Wind Waker's the one.
You need a
One
GameCube
of my-
game
one of my-
to sell your Wii U title.
It's one of my favorite games of all
I
time.
love that game.
It's a great game.
So that was surprising that those two stories kind of happened in the same month. Mighty number 9.
Let's talk about this.
Tony.
Kickstarted. I donated. Did you guys? Anyone here? Beckers?
So what is Mighty number 9 for those that don't know?
It's not Mega Man,
This is Jump Shoot Man.
but it's not. It's the creator of Mega Man was just like he wanted to create some game like his older classic games because fans always came up to him like, I like those older games, and he just made it because Capcom wouldn't. I don't want to mispronounce it because I have a history of doing that. Anyway,
I'll say this. Keiji Inafune.
yeah, that guy. He's awesome. He's so genuine in those videos.
Oh,
But
yes.
it's so like, this is Mega Man and we're just making it because we want to.
Because screw you, Capcom.
We're canceling all my Mega Mans.
Project
All of them.
M is a Super Smash Brothers modification that Super can go more in depth about if you don't know what this is.
Project M started off with just porting Melee Falco over to Brawl system to see if they can, and it exploded into its own modification of Brawl. It's all free on their site, projectmgame.com, and
No pirating, totally
no
legit.
pirating. There's,
Legit.
as long as you own Super Smash Bros. Brawl, you can play Project M if you have a 2 GB SD card. You can actually play Project M currently in the game room at Youmacon. I believe the Clash Tournament stream is still running it, so if you want to taste that,
Fight.
it's very high. That's the game I play competitively.
It's made to be more like Melee in a competitive, like, not as floaty aspect, which if you like Brawl, that's fine, but I'm more of a casual Brawl player, and I love it. It's just more balanced, like, all the characters are more balanced, and Men and I just can't just do that all day and just kill everybody.
And those of you who are familiar with Brawl know that those two characters, Roy and Mewtwo, are not in Brawl, and those are obviously screenshots of Roy and Mewtwo in Brawl's system. They've ported those characters. Now, it's not out in the current version, but
It's still a running demo. They keep making updates to it. They add more characters, you know, game engine development.
It's legit and easy to do. Where can you find it? What's the site?
ProjectMGame.com, and
Project
I went to
M
this
Game.
tournament right here called Big House 3, and they demoed these characters. I've played them. You should get hype.
Good stuff.
Now,
Roy's worst fire on the board.
might be true, he's the best in this game.
So we're all culminating to the big PlayStation 4, Xbox One showdown this month. On the 15th for PlayStation 4, on the 22nd for Xbox One. Anyone getting either PlayStation 4?
Next year.
Come on, next year? No, I totally get next
Let's make
year.
this. Let's
I'm
make
an
this
expert, bro.
scientific.
PC.
Make some noise for PS4. Now, make some noise for Xbox One.
Killer Instinct looks pretty good.
Security, can we get that guy out of here?
Now this is a big deal. I mean, this has never really happened before, where two of your big competitors are going head-to-head at the same time. It made for some fascinating drama this year at E3. It was on, the world stage, and now we're going to see it head-to-head. Money's going to talk, and I'm excited because for my grad school, I'm making a documentary that's kind of documenting this whole process. So
A point that you've made to me is that these are the first big consoles coming out that are in this social media age.
Yes, I mean, because you have this time where the audience, the consumers, are basically influencing the game console manufacturers in their decisions. And we saw the 180. That's because people talked, and Microsoft was worried about losing sales. And this would have never happened. You would have seen a catastrophic launch if Microsoft got to launch this console in a world we didn't have Twitter, we didn't have people who were able to be so vocal. Because Microsoft decides what they want to do with the industry, and while you know, it may be future thinking, and it may be a great thing to have, you know, in the future. People aren't ready for it right now.
Also, it's bad.
It's not bad. The messaging was bad. There was a difference.
It was a weird messaging of like, you should like this, and it's like, well, we don't.
We're going to show you a game montage of games that come out in 2013 now to kind of refresh your memory. I highly encourage you all to participate. You know, cheer if you really enjoyed the game. You know, if we're lukewarm about it. If you didn't really like the game, feel free to boo it. This is, you know, we're playing, you know, clips of these games with music, and it's mostly just to kind of refresh your memory.
How do we express lukewarm?
Meh. All right, great games this year, honestly.
I closed it in the end, I guess.
I guess so, but
It's over.
I was already here by yesterday. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So, let's talk game of the year. What was some of your favorite choices? What do you think if you had to, think what was your favorite game of the year? What deserves to be a game of the year? What do you think?
Pokemon X and Y.
Pokemon X and Y. Any reason why you think that? Why do you think Pokemon X and Y?
It's awesome.
Yes, it
It
is.
is awesome.
It's only been like a few days since I got it. I got on first day. It came out. I'm already at the Elite Four.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. They really opened it up to new beginners of the series. The new Pokemon, absolutely. There are some things that are different, and I know some people might not like the experience share. If you're like a hardcore player, you might want to turn it off. But they implemented it so well, where you can turn it on. It makes the game easier with raising your levels. If you don't like it, turn it off. Easy as that.
Roller skates.
Roller skates.
Praise be to our Lord Goomy.
Mega Evolution.
All hail King Goomy.
Goomy! Sitting on benches. That is pretty sick.
See, I haven't used Mega Evolutions because I'm already 10 levels overpowered and whatnot, and I took all that stuff off, and then I battled this guy online, and he used Mega Evolutions on me and kicked my ass.
Just like a Charizard X.
Wonder Trade.
Mega Trade is cool.
That's really dependent on the
Sometimes.
community. We're going to see how that develops over time. But the one trade I got, I traded a Bunnelby, which I know kind of lame, but it could be worse. And I got like a level 31 Quagsire really early in the game, and I couldn't use it. So that was interesting.
T-Rex.
T-Rex. Another game.
Cookie clicker.
Alright, we got it over here. No discussion on that. I've spent too much time.
I'm in between GTA 5 and Pokemon X and Y. GTA 5, I'm kind of mad because it didn't come out for PC, and I love PC.
Yeah.
And
What's next year, though?
X and Y, I haven't got my 3DS yet, so.
Yeah, I mean, Grand Theft Auto 5, they've had rumblings of PC next year, so I would probably expect it then. I know.
Really? You don't play Minecraft on Xbox 360?
I don't even play Minecraft that much anymore.
Oh, okay. You fooled me.
That game made almost $1 billion on its first day. In 3 days, it made over $1 billion.
Have you seen Call of Duty, like, trash-talking them? Like, we're gonna make more money.
They sold 26 million games already of Grand Theft Auto 5.
Good luck, Call of Duty.
Good luck indeed.
Good luck, Call of Duty, dog.
You're not football.
You're not football.
And honestly, for coming out at the end of a launch cycle, you get the most experience time working with those machines. What they've done to crank it out on the 360 PS3, that's fantastic.
I want to give it to Sly 4, but as one of the only 5 Sly Cooper fans in the world, yes, I'm gonna have to say that 10 minutes into Saints Row 4, it was Game of the Year.
Yeah! Go read the manual, everybody.
There you go. I liked Sly Cooper 4 as well, but some of these games, I don't know. It's tough to live up to that. Saints Row 4, I still gotta play. That's one of my flaws.
I haven't played some, but GTA 5 is crazy feature-wise. Like, you can do anything in that.
Saints Row 4 is the best sequel to Spider-Man 2 I've ever played.
Best sequel to Spider-Man 2.
I will say, personally, Mario Luigi Dream Team was great. I don't know if a lot of people play that. I just love turn-based Mario to death. But some of the final boss tilty crap drove me up the wall. I could not do it.
I loved The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Naughty Dog stuff, they're one of the best developers out there in my opinion. They really got the most at the PS3. I'm a sucker for cinematic gameplay, and that was not a fun game. It's not meant to be a fun game. But you go through that, you feel that emotional weight. That was great. I loved it.
You got anything over there?
Project M for you, Super?
Project M?
It's not out yet. We don't. If 3.0 drops, then Project M. But no, I think I'm actually gonna throw my vote on Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon.
That was pretty good.
It's just, it has everything that I feel a game of the year should have.
It was legit.
Yeah.
It was pretty legit.
Lots of Luigi.
Now we've got a 10-minute video to show you. This is a top 10 that we made about the gaming fails of 2013.
Yeah, this is
Some
gonna be
of
fun.
what we already talked about may show up, but feel free to enjoy.
It's Youmacon 2013, and the gaming year has brought us a lot of great stories.
But on the other hand, it has given us some serious stinkers.
And we're here to talk about the less attractive news stories this year.
Now, members of our Show Me Your News community can make top 10s about whatever they want, but it's our panel, so it's our choice. I'm Yoko.
I'm Super.
I'm Tony.
And these are the top 10 gaming fails of 2013. So where do you get your gaming news from? Fox News? Oh, why not show me your news? There you go, you're at this panel. So Fox News talked about Assassin's Creed 3 when the DLC, The Tyranny of King Washington, came out in February of this year, and they were none too pleased.
Fox News, not pleased.
Shocker, I know. Not only was a French company making a game about the American icon inconceivable, but releasing it after their day of celebrating George Washington, the founding father, just ridiculous.
Inconceivable? I don't know if you know what that word means.
Maybe they got him confused with Obama.
So yes, clearly a game about alternate history must be taken as a national threat.
We.
You've heard of Mighty Number 9? Sure, everybody has. It was all over the internet. It spread like wildfire. It made $1 billion in 48 hours. So why is it on this list? Well, it was made because Capcom wouldn't make us a Mega Man game to begin with. And then it went on to make $4 million before it was even released that Capcom didn't want.
Thank goodness that Capcom didn't sue in response.
Because Beck is totally not Mega Man, right? I mean, I guess good on Capcom for realizing that the creator should have control of his own work, but how do you miss this opportunity with all the games that you canceled recently?
Maybe they can still do like some sort of executive producer bit, or publish.
But at this point with the move it represents, would you really even want to have your name associated with it?
One thing's for sure, after 3 canceled Mega Man games, it's sure clear that nobody wants a Mega Man game, right?
In the wake of the Sandy Hook shooting, the NRA came out and said that video games were the shadow industry that sows violence against its own people. And in the wake of that press conference, they released their own video game for ages 4 and up.
That's right, it's called NRA Practice Range, and I know shooting at targets is one thing, but if video games are such a shadow industry, what if there are people in there? It's all the same, right, NRA?
Disregarding the fact that there have been numerous studies that don't prove any correlation between violence and video games, and the fact that we have age ratings in place.
But Mortal Kombat's a great example of showing, guns in video games, right?
You can get the NRA Practice Range from the iOS App Store for under $1.
Rayman Legends was an amazing game, but that's not why it's on the list. It was actually set to be released way earlier this year, and Wii U is really needing some exclusives on its console.
More like it's still in need of software, am I right?
But right around release time, they decided to delay it to put it on all other consoles as well, screwing Nintendo even further.
And creating a lesser product on the other consoles.
Would you believe it? The Wii U version sold the best. I know, right? Like it was made for that system. But then he still called the game a failure because it didn't sell as well for the other systems. Gee, I wonder why.
I mean, the game was complete. They could have at least released it on the Wii U while they went and made all the other ports. But no one gets to play it at all.
Let's keep it simple. When your game is done, release it. Don't delay it for 6 months.
Sounds simple.
It's been a year kind of defined by shaky online game launches. I mean, Grand Theft Auto Online comes to mind.
But this year, I think we all can remember the bumbling corpse that is SimCity.
Don't you guys remember playing SimCity on its launch day, though?
I remember a screen that said that I couldn't play.
See, the developer Maxis and the publisher EA, they tried to make the game online only, and then there were things written in the code that actually, timed players out, and a whole bunch of things that were discovered that really just got under gamers' skins.
It's really no surprise that SimCity 4, the predecessor to Max's new SimCity, ended up getting played a lot more that week.
Don't worry, hackers were still able to play 5 just fine though.
And at the end of the day, EA still thinks the game is a success. So there you go.
It all started with a very promising E3 demo. And don't get me wrong, I love the Alien movies. It's like one of my favorite movie series.
So you had to be all excited for it, right?
Actually, I kind of saw that Sega was publishing it and kind of figured it would end up being bad even with all the good reception the demo was getting.
But with Gearbox helming it after the extremely successful Borderlands 2, I really thought it was going to do well.
But it's Sega publishing a movie series, of course it's going to be bad.
Aliens Colonial Marines turned into one of the laughingstocks of video games this year, and with footage like this, it's clear to see why.
In the end, though, they leave it to the fans to actually find fun in this game. Through use of hacking, which seems to be coming up a lot on this list, we have a new metagame emerging. Tactical debugging action adventure.
So these aren't gaming fails, and while this next story may not seem like gaming related, it actually is. See, it all starts with a League of Legends game, and some kids are trash talking on Facebook afterwards.
But after one particularly bad game, one gamer in all of his salt ended up saying a couple things on Facebook that he really shouldn't have, and completely frightened a Canadian mother.
So they put him in jail.
Yes, it didn't show common sense to say that you're going to shoot up a school full of kids, LOL JK, but what kind of world do we live in where a hypersensitive mother goes and reports him and he gets put in jail?
A mother from another country.
Just happening to look on a computer.
All in all, this entire story reeks of double plus ungood.
Sorry. What? I said sorry.
With a funky looking controller and a library that didn't exactly run well, the Ouya was Kickstarter's first abysmal failure.
It seemed so promising at the time, but when a lot of people are buying it just to run emulators on it, yeah, you kind of have a problem.
We as gamers are already used to putting emulators on just about everything we can. And the most useful are portable, which the Ouya is sadly not.
They didn't even let it into E3 this year.
Ouya has no games.
And if you've never heard of Ouya, well, there you go. So say you're at the carnival and you want to win that Xbox 360 with Kinect.
And you have no idea how much money it is.
And you think you're just so skilled that you can win those rigged games.
No matter how many tries.
No matter how much money.
So this happened to Henry Gribble of New Hampshire, and he spent $2,600, or his entire life savings, being swindled over this carnival game.
You could probably get 8 Xboxes with that, I think.
But then College Humor reimbursed him and got his stuffed banana that he won. He was on Tosh.0. This guy seemed to make it out great, all for having a gambling problem.
That banana.
Alright, before we get to the biggest gaming fail of 2013, let's do a quick recap. Number 10, the Fox News outrage over Assassin's Creed 3 George Washington DLC.
Number 9, Inefune's win, Capcom's fail.
Number 8, NRA blames video games for violence and then releases one.
Number 7, that Rayman Legends delay.
Number 6, SimCity always online and crashes and burns.
Number 5, Aliens Colonial Marines.
Number 4, a boy gets thrown in jail over a poor taste Facebook joke.
Number 3, Ouya!
And number 2, man loses life savings over 360 and Kinect.
Now it's time for number 1.
Where do you even start with this?
Okay, look, the Xbox One is not going to be a bad system. The system itself is not the failure, but it's how it was handled this year.
It didn't help that they revealed all their information with absolutely no games to go with it.
And then when they were even asked questions about the system, they couldn't even give reporters a straight answer.
Always online, not being able to play used games, all these negative things that they just wouldn't elaborate on.
It really felt like somebody on their marketing team needed to be fired. Oh wait,
fortunately we have a product for people who aren't able to get some form of connectivity. It's called Xbox 360.
Right. So stick with 360, that's your message if you don't.
Well, it honestly felt like whenever we asked them about these things, they were just like, come on guys, you're stupid. You should like all this stuff. It's going to be cool. You're stupid.
Well, that's because Microsoft was trying to determine what the industry needed as opposed to listening to their fans. And when they did listen to their fans, some even gave them kudos for listening, when it was really just reactionary because they were losing sales.
They had to listen to the applause during the Sony conference, that's for sure.
For instance, PlayStation 4 won't impose any new restrictions on the use of PS4 games.
But hey, all of you with your day one pre-orders, you guys get the achievement.
So that does it for the top 10 gaming fails of the year. It's been a crazy one, guys.
And this is only our list. There was much more this year.
Well, we look forward to more next year, right guys?
Absolutely. Let us know in the comments if you can think of any other gaming fails from this year. And you can find out how to make your own top 10s by visiting showmeyournews.com/top10. With that, I'm Yoko.
I'm Super.
I'm Tony.
And we're out.
See you next year, Youmacon.
All right. Words and sinkers. Now, we have about 7 minutes or so of Q&A. We can talk anything gaming related you guys want to. We'll take some questions, then we'll end with a song that was going to be a video, but it's going to turn to me singing, and that's going to be a toss-up. Anyone? Yes.
On Grand Theft Auto Online, have you guys done anything really crazy to each other?
Have we done anything crazy to each other on Grand Theft Auto Online?
I don't usually mess with online games, and people like always ask me about like Uncharted Online. I wouldn't even think that has online just because of the single player experience. And I'm like, whatever, Grand Theft Auto Online. And I've seen footage of what you can do in that game, and I was like, oh, you can jump cars out of planes and stuff. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. But honestly, I haven't touched it, so I have no idea.
I haven't been putting the time sink into it that a lot of people have. Just there's so many games at the time. I was finishing Kingdom Hearts. I was doing some WTF Pokemon work, which is another thing I do. And then you had Wind Waker and you had Beyond and all this stuff. So Grand Theft Auto, I played a little bit of it, but not the online because it still hadn't come out. Though smart decision for it to release 2 weeks after launch, kind of people to keep the game, and it did have a shaky launch. But what I've heard and kind of seen is that people are jerks in Grand Theft Auto. I know you can say that in general, but
people are jerks.
People are
on
jerks.
Grand Theft Auto.
Well, like they're just killing each other, and I guess for some that is fun. Wouldn't be my sort of fun, I suppose. Minecraft.
Whenever people are like at my school, they're talking about PS4 and Xbox One and all those other consoles. I'm just say to them, I'm on PC, and I don't start any conversations with them. I walk away.
PC is a good way to go right now.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It's not bad. I have a Steam account and I never mess with it, but I'm never like, oh, consoles are better. There's plenty of good reasons to have a PC, but I like my controllers and my stupid stuff.
Well, now you have Valve with the Steam box and Steam OS, and they're going to try to bring the PC into the home space. We still have to hear more details about the different kinds of boxes they'll be coming out with, but PC gamer is a good way to go, especially if you're like me and when the holiday sales come up, you just buy all of the games and you don't get to them. That's smart. Backlog, yay!
I have a 3DS. I can't play Mega Charizard with Mega Charizard X on PC.
No, 3DS is a pretty good way to go right now.
I'm getting a 3DS.
3DS can't go wrong.
I think Pokemon is Game of the Year.
Pokemon me?
Maybe, man. Oh, Amy. I've never heard anyone say Amy.
It's French.
I figured that out. Thank you.
Any opinions on Final Fantasy 14 Realm Reborn?
Oh.
Fantasy 14.
Nobuo Uematsu did the music. I like the soundtrack.
He's our Final Fantasy guy.
I am the Final Fantasy guy, but I've skipped the online ones. And I kind of hate that they're numbered, actually. Like, they were still like Final Fantasy, but not like numbered. That wouldn't bother me as much. I'm pumped for 15. I've heard 14 attempt 2 pretty much. was a lot better, but I don't know much about it now.
Okay, so in my opinion, I'd rather download some free one.
Yeah, I hear you.
Alright, we've got the 5-minute signal, which means that we gotta start wrapping it up. Am I wrapping it up? No, we're not wrapping. Oh god.
Plug our site real quick.
Plug our site. We're at showmeyournews.com. We have a network of other different shows there. You know, Pokemon things, you know, podcasts where they talk about, you know, anime or comics or film and TV, a whole bunch of other stuff.
I do a wrestling podcast for all 2 of you here who care about wrestling.
And Super, you doing as well?
I do a Superfluous, which is basically the podcast that you listen to if you want to hear spoilers about something.
So what we're going to do now is I was going to have a video edited of all this stuff, and then it turned out that I ran out of time and couldn't edit things. So what we do at the end of the year for video games is we put on a Game of the Year spectacular, where we do an audio kind of award show. We have members of our community vote on different awards, and then it really goes from there. It becomes a full audio production, much better than other video game award shows, in my opinion. And we even do musical numbers. So what I was going to do is I was going to have the ending theme, or ending musical number that we're going to have this year, where we talk about games next year, but we're going to sing it instead.
We're doing it live.
Doing it live!
I'm not singing.
Karaoke time.
I'll be right here.
That's right, Warren, you're on. Well, the end is here, the game of the year, and the show's greater and like a dream. But now it looks towards a promising future with these new game machines. Xbox One, PS4, Wii U, new tech, better graphics, and everything else that's new. Whoa, critics say that's what a backlog is for. It's a death trap. It's a bunch of this crap we're gonna download while we're young. Cause we want to play and have fun. Press Are you back again to doing and Dracula with a battle with Satan? Demon is bound, the second son, and keeps the franchise we're saving. Donkey Kong is getting quite the freeze, it's so tropical, jumping on flames with ease. Oh, will you witness this Jonathan Blow? Cause Dark Souls is just as tough as everyone knows the sequel has it all. I wanna jump inside a mech and I wanna play some Titanfall. Oh, can I play it? Super! What are you looking forward to playing this year, upcoming year?
Titanfall.
Titanfall? You're excited for Titanfall. And this new Smash Bros. Take it.
Oh, yeah. And that one that is people see.
You all see Beyond the evil within copper shells lies some Mario Kart. My soul suspect has been murdered and watchdog is off the charts. The Inquisition yields a dragon age, but is bringing you a true destiny. I know that the Division will bring a wild hunt, but that's for the Witcher. Tony,
I guess South Park now.
South Park now, yeah. I got to play anything else? Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers, I think a lot of us look forward to Smash Brothers. Yeah, that's good. Move to two movements. The Azran Legacy and Herschel Links clash with Phoenix Wright. I know everyone needs some transistor, but I want child light. The Phantom Pain as Keeper acting so fun. We got more from Monolith Soft and Spinja 'cause I know what you want. Sakurai is on time. It's time next year and we'll smash till we won. But so then we want to play these games and have some fun. Oh, ninjas, we want to play these games and have some fun. Come on with me, we want to play these games and have some fun.
Goodness. Not bad, dude. I didn't know what to expect when you said you were singing live.
Karaoke Youmacon style. Yay!
Karaoke, do we have
Woo!
4 minutes left? I didn't think we did.
Yay!
You can find us on showmeyournews.com, and we got Facebooks, Twitters. We stream online. We do all kinds of crazy stuff.
I know you have other panels to rush off to, so we're going to call it there. Thank you so much for coming. We hope you enjoyed it.